Don't blink, it's your boy, Walter Doctor Show. Because I'm doing well, because I'm having a wonderful day on this 11 July 2025. Today we are talking, of course, about Gundam. So the reason why we're talking about Gundam, and before we start, I have to apologize. We just finished the third season in chronological order, which is ZZ. So we did Gundam, the original. We did Gundam, a new translation, and we did Gundam ZZ. We also did Seed. Now, there's two apologies for this video. First of all, I'm gonna have to do two parts because outside is very warm. I'm playing a game at the same time, so the phone will close because it's overeating. That's gonna happen. There's no worry about that. It happens. Now, there's another story about it, but there's also a surprise about it. I'm gonna take a break from Gundam. I'm gonna take a small break from Gundam. Listen, I have to do the hard mode. The reason why I'm taking a little break is actually quite simple. The third season didn't feel good to me. It didn't feel natural. I felt bored with it. Maybe I'm having too much Gundam, so I'm gonna take a small break from it. I'm gonna take two breaks. Now, the two breaks still mean that we're gonna do our dailies. They still mean that I'm gonna be playing some Gundam, right? And what we're gonna do is, if there's an event, we'll do the event, right? Now, that's the bad news. No more Gundam for a while. The good news, by finishing Gundam ZZ, we unlocked everything else. So we unlocked more than 4. And the last one, which is Gundam Zeta. I think it's W. I don't remember what it is. But yeah, we unlocked everything. Every single storyline possible. So guess what? If I decide that, you know what, I took a love of a break, even though it's not 2 weeks, I'll come back to it. We'll do a sideline, which is actually pretty cool. Now, the apology is done. The good news are done. Let's get to the subject of my opinion on Gundam ZZ. I have to say, out of the 3 characters, I liked Judo the least. Judo is just a kid, but then at the same time, it's not his fault. So Amuro was the right guy at the right time. However, he didn't want to do it. He wasn't a soldier, he was a citizen. And he had to deal with the pressure of being somewhat of a victim, to be honest. Somewhat of a victim, to be honest. I said it twice, yes. And Fathom. Now, my favorite was Camille, because Camille hated the Titans. He hated the Titans. And he's like, fuck the Titan, they killed my parents, they've been dictatorship for so long, fuck them. Right? But then his ending was weak. Amuro ending was weak also. Kira was good. Kira was actually pretty good. I actually really like Kira. Kira felt different. Kira felt like a guy that was stuck in a war between the right side and his friends, and he wanted to choose the right side. Kira was also a guy that had a lot of decisions to take. Like, Kira was giving one of the strongest Gundam and told, I don't care what you do, I trust you. Right? Could have done the show that he made. Kira was one of the best. Kira was also a coordinator, fighting against other coordinator. And the other coordinator, what they wanted was the coordinator to be in power. So Kira has everything to gain from the opposite side winning. Now we're coming to Judo. Judo is a dude that was a child of war. I was broke and would collect junk pieces. Now, this is not interesting. He has a crew. And his crew are, if he meets Boa, and Boa's like, yo, I need you because you're a new type. Judo's like, yeah, whatever. I just need money. Now, the first thing his friend does is betray the guy that was nice to them. I was like, okay, well, you're kind of a piece of shit. However, they're a victim of war. Maybe that's the way to do it, right? Judo never felt like he had a reason to fight, right? The reason to fight was just to be paid, which I didn't like. Now, at the end, it completely changed, which is amazing. His sister get killed, and that's when he decided to come in. But at the same time, it's nice because you're taking revenge. My mom got me a new shirt. You're taking revenge for your sister. But at the same time, it's like, no, there's no way that this is your motivation. there has to be more, right? There must be more, right? No, there's nothing more. There's nothing more. However, where Judo falls short, other characters are amazing. For example, you have this character called P2. LPP. LPP, what a name. And LPP is a character that I fucking hate. She's an asshole. She is a person that says, you know what? I am gonna do whatever I want, and if you're not happy, like for example, she almost kills Judo because he doesn't want to play with her, and then you realize that this is a child, and she doesn't have the maturity, but she's also realized that because she's a new type, they put her on the field. They put her on the field and like, okay, well, you don't have a choice, right? Now, there's actually the ending is actually really good, but the whole story was kind of weak. So we have the sister of Judo who gets killed. She's not killed. She doesn't die. So this takes away. This gives a reason to Judo to fight, but takes away the real consequences or the feeling of real consequences. Nobody dies. Nobody fucking dies. With Camille, his girlfriend before Loco died. With Amuro, is Lena. She died. There was no real struggle there, which kind of sucked. I gotta be honest. However, the payoff was nice. For example, there's this guy called Gimsi, and Gimsi is following the Zabai, and we see the story through the eyes of Opipo, and Gimsi is kind of like a coward. He's like, yo, look at these people. They're all fake. They're all crawling to power. Now, there's this person called Amon. Amon, she's kind of a badass, but Amon, we saw her in every season since season 1. She is a loyalist of the Zabai, and she wants them to go back in power. Right? Now, Gimsi is right with what he's saying, and this is what the interesting part is on the purpose, on the prefix, or on the plot that the war has been going on so long. There's been so much people getting hurt. There's been so much war that we don't really know who's right anymore. This makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. At the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense. But it's weak because you realize that the war itself is wrong. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. There's a war and there's casualty. There's so many orphans that they're all kind of junkyard, right? And then the craziest thing is they sell the junk part to the enemy so they can create more Gundam, and the Gundam will kill them, you know? That's kind of crazy. So, with Haman, she's the main bad guy. She's like, oh, you know, remember those dictators? Remember those bad guys? Trying to reinstate them. However, you realize that Gimsi isn't a good guy. Gimsi says, I'm the real heir to the throne. And if you don't, it's kind of complex. Gimsi is like, if you don't want me to be the heir or the guy at the throne, at the helm, I'll take the position by force. Amon is like, yeah, my system is shitty, but it's a system. I'm offering you a balance. I'm offering you something to follow. Gimsi offers you only fear and blood, right? So Amon is right. Amon is right by being the less shitty option. She's the better evil, if you will. She's the evil that we know. She's the evil we've been dealing with. She's the evil. I just have to cool down the phone. It's gonna go too warm. She's the person we've been dealing since almost day 1, or she has the ideal that we've been dealing with since day 1. At the end, we realize that the sister is good, and the sister's like, oh, well, I don't want to tell my brother that I'm safe, because if my brother is safe, he won't have the same conviction, right? Now, the problem with this season is, for example, people like Boa. Boa was been a main force in season 1 and season 2. Becomes a guy that's like, you know what? I don't want to be in control anymore. And it would be okay because it's normal that he has PTSD and doesn't want to come to war. However, what really pisses me off and really doesn't make any sense to me is he asked Amuro, like, yo, you need to be there, we need you. He says to Kame, yo, you need to be there, we need you. And then in the season, we know that we need him. It's like, nah, I'm not down for that. The payoff is actually quite nice. The payoff is actually quite nice. For example, Gimsi doesn't even fight. Gimsi gets killed like that. The Gimsi problem is, he's not a fighter. He's a leader. He doesn't know how to fight. And the funniest thing, not the funniest thing, but the craziest thing is, we have a main enemy. She's not really an enemy, but she is the main enemy in the sense of she's the main weapon of the opposing force. Her name is Alvin Poe. I mentioned it a couple times already. See, the phone is too hot. This is a really big problem. But at the same time, I have to film, otherwise I'm going to start filming everything at 7 o'clock, and I'm going to film 4 hours of videos, and I don't have 4 hours of battery, you know? So LP is a clone. She becomes LP2. And LP2, remember that Judo was a friend of LP. So what they do is they clone LP Poe, which is the original, and then they do a LP2, and then they reprogram her. The reprogramming left some mark, so there's still some memories. And then what is the craziest thing is, it's not a memories, it's memories of a new type. With judo, we actually really see it, and that's actually really cool. My favorite part about Camille being a new type is they did a Gundam that was able to. I'm becoming a pro of Gundam, I'm telling you. They did a Gundam that could recognize this new type, right? Judo actually is amazing because there's a fight with Amon. And Amon, the best thing is Amon, they meet each other 3 to 4 times. And each time Amon is overpowering him. And she's like, yo, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm not gonna hurt you because I want you to join me. You're a new type, let's work together. And Judo's like, no, fuck you, I don't trust you. And then at the end, it's like, okay, well, you don't want to do, I'll force you. So she points a gun and she shoots at him. Because she knows that she's not gonna get him. And then Judo goes crazy and he releases a lot of aura. So what is kind of cool with that is, yes, we had new types in season 1 and season 2 and season 3. Season 3, we're really exploring the power of that, right? It's not the Gundam that's reacting to it, it's the person itself being super powerful. So that I really enjoyed. And the best way at the end, and why the ending was so good, was because at the end we killed both Gimps and we killed both Amon. So fuck the better evil, fuck the person that is, oh, you know what? We're both pieces of shit, but I'm less of a piece of shit. Fuck that. We kill everybody, right? And then this is the perfect ending because why settle for being victims if we can be victors, right? But then at the same time, it's kind of weird because the people that are behind them. And this is actually really fucking cool. There's a lot of questions that are raised in this. And I gotta say, season 3, I might not like the story, I might not like the characters, but there's a good point that are. There's this guy in the Earth Federation, right? And he's kind of the leader of Bright Noah. And just like in Seed, he kind of goes against Noah, which is the captain of the. The captain, the one I told you, oh, we need you, but we don't. I don't care. And he tells him, no, I'm going to cut the funding. Don't do it. I'm not allowing this fighting. And then Judo's like, yo, you're such an asshole. You're allowing them to win by not acting. And the guy said, yeah, but I'm thinking about the future. If we lose the war, we lose everything. If we give up right now, we only lose some, right? So it shows how corrupted the government is, which is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. And the ending itself, just to show you how out of a season is, it's so fucking shitty. We realize that, okay, so the main principle of the Zabai is that they kind of all got killed. They all got killed because they were constant pieces of shit. They were constant, like, oppressor. They get killed. There's only one left, which is a small girl, right? Amon, yes, she represented Zabai, but she's not Zabai herself. Amon is... it's complex. She's kind of like a general that is looking for her old leader. She's like, oh, I believe there's still a king, and I'm loyal to the king. There's no king. And then she's protecting a small girl. I don't remember her name. Then at the end, we realize that the young girl, she's not even a Zabai. She's just a copy. She's just a fake pretense of a heir to the Zabai family. Yeah. Now, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna stop. We're gonna let the phone cool down. I'll go back and get my computer, get the Wikipedia and shit like that. And then that's pretty much it. So it should be cool. Then I have a cleaning video to do, and I have an unboxing to do. So we'll do both, and I'll be right back.